Good morning, guys. This is Richard back at you. Got a little bit something different going on today. A friend of mine brought me a 727 out of a 70 model 440 CUDA. I guess it's a bar fine. The case looks pretty rough, but it's all matching number car. So we're going to get in here and get this tranny part, get it all cleaned up really nice, go through it. That way he can put it back in his car. So I'm excited to see the car when he gets it done. But big block 440, how you can identify a big block tranny is the dust cover bolts right here. Big block is a really wide distance between the two bolts. A small block is about right here. That's the only difference. Everything pretty much on the inside is identical, just except the case front. Uh-oh. Make sure my bucket's over there going good. Fluid don't look too bad on it, actually.
Purple.
Yeah, that's some really old fluid there. Look at this old transmission mount. You can tell that's been sitting somewhere. Look at the wear and stuff on it. They say it's been in sitting in a grass bar find or something like that. We have our speedometer gear here. Try to grab it on the inside right in there. There we go. Now this is actually, if you notice, this piece is setting to one side of this. That way you can clock it. The difference, teeth count is how far it's clocked differently. And if you clean this up, there'll be different numbers on here on the gear count on this. The distance this piece here will work on how much you can clock it. Pretty simple. Old school stuff here. I was worried about that. See if I can stop that from... Try to quieten that up a little bit. I just grab a wrench, put it on my screwdriver. It's a Phillips screwdriver. Sometimes these are tough to turn. Setting this long for sure. Ugh.
Feels awkward.
Film in this direction.
Yeah.
We don't do this table very often. Got something on every table in here this morning. But right here you have your main bearing support right here that's in the tail housing. It's a snap ring right here. And it'll fall usually. Did you see that fall just a little bit? Then you can take and pick it back up when you're building it back. Lock it back in. We're going to unlock it, let it fall, and then we're going to get our tail housing bolts off. We haven't seen a 727 in a long time. I got another one out there that we got to do that's going in a friend of mine's race car, actually. You could just pick this up off there. You can see the snap ring down here in there that we were opening up. Right there. It was locked into this groove on this bearing. You want to check this bearing for any roughness, take it off, clean it. Because if this bearing's bad, right when the vehicle starts moving, you'll start hearing a whine. So you definitely don't want that to happen. You have your governor assembly here. Another valve on this side. These little valves, I just go back and forth. Now also down in here is your parking assembly. This right here activates it when you move your shifter, and this is your parking pawl lugs here that it locks into. We have our second gear band adjustment right there. This thing is old. Kind of has that old card smell to it. Your neutral safety switch here. Have your detent linkage here, and then your lever comes on here for your shifter linkage.
That means you can smell?
No, I mean,
You said.
I said I could. I mean, I don't know if I can smell or it's just I have that sensation. You know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you, you sit down and you start eating, and you're just going along, and then about halfway through your meal, you're going, and you realize you're not tasting it, but in your mind, you're tasting it.
You remember what it tastes like?
Right. A little bit of trash there. A lot of metal out of the converter. That's what that pile is. It's just aluminum chunks. That's usually what that is on these.
That pan looks pretty rusty, so you think that we might replace that?
Well, I mean, we got this nice one here. It's got a drain in it right here on the bottom. I'll have to talk to him and see what he says.
Okay.
The filter we put on that will go back is about this much bigger. It'll still fit, but a lot better filter. Come on. You can see the plastic piece here that works your neutral safety switch. When you move your shifter, that piece there is pushing in on here. It's got different depths. Makes the sensor do different things. Kind of looks like a 48 RE valve body type, 518 style. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and get a screwdriver and take all these apart. Take too much time. But the check balls are almost identical, if not identical, like your 48 RE in here and stuff. So you still have your pressure regulator valve. This isn't a lockup unit, so there's no lockup valve. Your TV valve, your manual valve, stuff like that. Still, you can do a TV, or not TV, but manual valve repair kit right here you can put in here, like we do like in our diesels. So there's different things you can still do to there. This old tranny was later parts. So metal sealing rings on your accumulator. So they got away from that, went to start going to Teflon. This is your second gear band. Now if you look here, your band is a hard band. It's not a flex band. When I get this out, this is going to be pretty neat to look at. This is your reverse band here. Just a single wrap band. Now, on your Dodge, the vent for the transmission is physically this hole right here. So this is kind of a little cover. There's no vent sticking out the back of or out the top of it like on Chevrolets or Fords and stuff like that. It's physically right here. So if you overfill your tranny too fast or anything like we do sometimes with a gun, it'll burp it out this vent right here. Now if we're doing a 4-wheel drive that's going to go underwater or anything, we'll plug this vent here and then we'll add a vent to the top of the case and then we'll run it up to the hose all the way up to the brake master cylinder. That way it can't ever get water in the tranny. So all we just have to do is drill this, tap it, plug it, put a fitting here on the top of the case, and you're good to go. Now being a big block tranny, doesn't look like it's ever been touched that I can tell so far. So got our stock sealing rings. Feels like a steel, not a stainless. So you can upgrade to a stainless ring. You don't have to go to a high pressure Teflon and something like this, and it'll be a big upgrade. We got so many of them, we don't use them in the Dodge diesels. We always use the high pressure ones, so we always save the stainless ones to put back in there. So. That wind is getting it out there today. Same way, you want to look at your pump stator, make sure it looks really good here with the gears run. Same way your bushing runs. There's no seal that goes here or sealing ring on your input shaft here. It's just got a lip. Some of them do have a ring that goes there. You got 2 rings that seal down in here. This washer here is selective to set clearances. Of course, it's a gas pump, smallest pump they make. Wouldn't be a good idea to put it in a diesel, especially in overdrive. Same way, you want to look from here to here, make sure there's no ruts, stuff like that, here to here. Pump body looks good. Definitely needs some gears if you can still get them. Now, this is what we were talking about, a hard band. This band here, you can't grab it and flatten it out like a normal flex band. See if I go find one over here I threw away, which I'm sure a lot of people know what a flex band looks like, but see, this is a flex band here. This is a hard band here. You can't bend it. A lot better for high torque applications and stuff like that. Tractor pulling, I mean, that's what type of stuff they use. They're really hard to get anymore. I'm not even sure where to get them at anymore, to tell you the truth. But pretty ancient. Of course, we have your 3rd gear drum. Your 2nd gear band goes around it. You want to look here where your sealing rings run and make sure there's no grooving, anything like that, put in the bushing. But if you look here, how bad the clearances are messed up, look where that sealing ring was running. Right inside the feed port for the clutch, for 3rd gear clutch. So if I blew air in here, it would apply that clutch. So in other words, this here needs to go that direction. So really this needs a thinner shim. We need to check the clearance and see where we're at, because you also have a shim here that's selective. See? So you have multiple places to move this thing around, but we definitely got to get this sealing ring off that hole.
Yes, sir, Captain.
We definitely got to do it, because it's happening. I mean, you can definitely see it.
Yeah, you can see it.
So, and it was probably off the hole when the tranny was new, but once it started getting wear and clearance and the thrust washers and all that type of stuff, then here comes the clearance problem. We have a 4 clutch, which is fine for 440. You know, it's probably make maybe 400 horsepower or something, maybe if that. You can take the wave out of it. Put a 350K snap ring in here. Works really nice. Clearances will be nice. Get this off here. Your forward drum. You notice you have 2 sealing rings here. Not one here. Some of them do have a ring right here, and the stator will have a place for it. So you gotta be careful what you do. So it's another selective washer, like I was saying. We have our forward clutch. You know, though Tranny looked like it was still hanging in there. And then we have another washer right here that sets down on the output shaft and the forward drum. Sets down here like that. You can space this up, do a little shimming right there too to move it around a little bit. Now this won't pull out like your 48 REs and stuff. You got to take everything apart here, and then the shaft to pull out the back. Four pinion aluminum planet. Want to look at your splines, make sure there's nothing stripping here, getting weak. If it strips here, it's definitely going to quit moving. The thrust washers. These are not selectives, they're just going to be, depending on how many gear planets you have, will depend on how many tabs they have. You got a 6 gear planet, you can have a 6 tab. Sun gear shell is going to take 3 tabs. You can see down there how it locks in. 48 RE has a 6 tab. Here's another 4 tab. Then these gears you want to look at really close too, especially being old, being behind a pretty high powered motor. Of course you got a 4 tab here, and you got your 4 tab planet, 4 tab washer. Now what's neat about these is the planet itself is the washer here in the back. And this here locks onto the output shaft along with this ring gear. This doesn't spin, it's locked. So basically the planet itself is the washer. There's not you don't put this washer on here. This sets on here and it spins against the planet like that. So if you get anywhere here and it's wore out, then that's where you have to replace the planet. Here you could just put another washer. So, and you have your reverse drum. Your single wrap reverse band. Now there's a lip right here, so you can't put a dual wrap in or anything like that in here. If we could, I would have already done it. I probably would have already tried it, for sure. Of course, here we have our governor rings here. The holes through here. We have our reverse servo here, our second gear band servo here. If I can, I'm gonna splash Miss Teresa.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go over here.
You're good. Now, anytime they went to the single wrap band, they went to a bigger servo piston. The dual wrap band, the servo piston is probably about this size. So that is a big difference there. Of course, the intermediate one right here, they made some pretty neat. Let me get this out and see if it is one of the early style. Yeah, stand by, I might get to it. Here it comes. Oh, it is. Yeah, this is a pretty neat one. If I get this out. Okay. You know, normally the pin, everything would be made onto this one here, like that. But being that this is a real early style, it's like this. No big outer spring. Isn't that crazy? instead of it being here, snap ringed in here and having a little accumulator port built into it. That's how they did it.
Well, isn't that nifty?
Isn't that just nifty? Pretty neat. We have our lower sprag down here. You can see that, our lower roller clutch. This piece unbolts too, right here. Your rear case support. So, not a whole lot to these things really. I mean, there is to when you're wanting to make them really cool. You know, like we do, high horsepower race car type stuff. But all original 70 model CUDA 440, 727, all matching numbers. We cleaned the numbers off here, and all these numbers match the car and stuff. So pretty excited to get this one done for him. So Teresa, you know, we want to thank you for recording, definitely.
I actually like videoing from this side.
Pretty neat, huh? Got our beautiful Sonex Performance banner here beside us. We always love to have that in our videos for sure. But guys, don't forget to go subscribe, push that notification bell, because believe me, through that door, there's a lot of work. Have a good day.